Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to record your app in Expo React Native for Android using media projection. So let's get started. So firstly we'll have to create an Expo React Native application. So for that you can just go to this particular URL, and I will be using this blank TypeScript template, but feel free to use whatever template you want. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template, so this is the command for it, is because it comes with less boilerplate code and it also has TypeScript support. So you can just go to your workspace directory and just paste this particular command. The next thing which it will do is ask you for your app name. So let's just wait for that. I'll just enter it as my app. You can enter it whatever you feel like. Now it will create the project for us. So in the meantime, what I'll do, I'll just open this inside VS Code. So this is the project. Now once we have the project open, if you see over here, we don't have the Android folder. We need to write some native code to record screen or any part of the app. So for that we require the Android folder to write native code. So for that you can just go to this particular URL over here. Just open it, and here you can see we have to select Android device. Here we'll have to select development build. Here I have disabled EAS because I will be building my app locally. Next, choose your own operating system. I am on macOS. Then I have already installed this particular command. I have already installed this one as well. I have already set the Java home path as well. Then I have already installed Android Studio as well. I have done all this setup. So if you haven't done this, you will have to do it for the very first time. So yeah, I have already done all this. Once all this stuff is done, yeah, make sure you do this as well. Then we have to copy this particular command. So I'll just copy this. Then again I'll just cd to my app which I have just created. Now I'll clear everything out and I'll paste this particular command. Now again it will install few dependencies for us. Once this command has finished, we'll have to actually run this particular command. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Now this will actually create the Android folder for us. Again, this will take a little bit of time, so let it do its thing. In the meantime, even though we have created the Android folder, we also need to create a module, because we'll be writing all the code inside that particular module. Now here I am getting an error because it is not able to find any Android emulator or a real device, because I have not installed any Android emulator. I will be connecting my real device at the end of this tutorial to show you guys the output. So yeah, so this is fine, no big deal. In your case it might be asking you to run this project on a device or on an emulator. You can just press Ctrl C to ignore that, because no point in running this sample project. We haven't written any code. Then you can just go to this particular URL which I will show you to create the module. So here I have opened it, and here I'll just copy this particular command, and again I'll come over here and paste this particular command. Then this will create the module for us. I'll just press Y. Okay, let's just wait, and now it will ask us few questions. I'll keep everything as default and just press enter, enter. So let it create the project. So it create the module, sorry. Once it has created the module, okay, so the next thing what I will do is I'll just close this cheat sheet. I will write down all the code, and then I'll come back, I'll explain it to you and show you guys the output at the very end. Okay, so now coming back to the code. So firstly, what you will have to do for the code is you will have to go to your modules, my module, and here you will have to open this particular src, and here you will have to go to my module.ts. Here you just have to write one method called start stop recording, and the return type is void. Okay, so it will start as well as stop our recording. Once you create this particular method, you will have to go to the my app.tsx, and here I'll just show you the code. So firstly, here I have imported use state from React. We are also importing alert, permission, Android, platform, style sheet, text, touchable, opacity, view from React Native, and here we are also importing our module which we have created. Then here I have created one state just to check whether we have the permission or not for notification, because that is required to start the foreground service for recording. Then I'll come back to this method later on. So if you see my view, I have just created one button which first asks for notification permission. Now this notification permission is only required from Android T and above. Below Android T, this is already granted by default, so we don't have to worry about it. So here you can see we are basically calling this particular method called request notification permission. So here I'm just checking if platform OS is Android and platform version is greater than equal to 33. Then we are requesting for the post notification permission from React Native, and if the permission is granted, then I set this has permission to true. If it is not granted, then it will the set has permission will still be false. And in case if you are using a lower Android version like me, my real Android device is below Android T, so in that case also I will have to make this as true, because we don't require this particular permission. And the second button which I have created, which just checks whether we have the permission or not. If yes, then start and stop the recording, else I just display an alert to the user. Okay, so yeah, pretty simple till here. Now comes the actual part. So firstly, you will have to go to the so I'll just close everything else. Okay, firstly you will have to go to your main Android folder, go to build.gradle over here, and here you will have to change the main HDK to 26, because some of the APIs are only available from 26. I mean, you can make it work below 26 as well, but I don't want to get into that. It is a lot of work, but I think 26 is fine for now, given that the current maximum HDK version is 35. Okay, so yeah, and also you will also have to add uh, okay, just a second, let me check. Okay, not here, but what you will have to do is you will have to go to modules, my modules, Android, and here you will have to go to this build.gradle file of your module as well. Firstly, you will have to add this apply plugin Kotlin parcelize. This is used for sending some data with the help of the by parcelizing that particular data if it is a complex data. So that's why we are adding this particular plugin. Here also make sure the main HDK version is at least 26 over here. Okay, then just scroll down, and here you will have to add this dependency, and here we also need to add this window dependency, because suppose like in my case I'm recording the exact full width and height of our app, but in your case, so we need to get the full width and height with the help of this particular dependency. But sometimes you want to record only the partial part of it. That also I will show you, just the code, not the output. For the output I'll just show you how to record the entire width and height, because that's what most people would be interested in. So make sure you add this bit of code as well. Once that is done, you will also need to go to module, my module, Android, and here inside src folder you need to inside src main folder you will have to create one more folder called res. Inside that you will have to create a folder called drawable, and here you can take any image. I have just taken this particular image, so this should be basically your app image, so make sure you take your app image. I will tell you how we will be using later on inside the code, but this thing is necessary because we need to display an image in the foreground service once it is started. That's why make sure you create this res drawable and add one image as well to it. Okay, then you also need to go to the app android manifest.xml, and here you will need to add this foreground service, foreground service media projection, as well as post notification service. These other permissions are present by default. I have not added those, but I have just added these three permissions. Once you add these three permissions, you also have to scroll down, and here you will have to add this service. Now my module name is just my module. If you remember, modules my module, so that's why I'm referring Expo modules. If you have given some different name, this will change. And inside this module here you can see that I have created the screen record service file, so that's what I'm referring over here. I'll show you the code in a bit. And then you also have to add this exported false, unable to, and foreground service type is media projection. So make sure you add this bit of block as well. Okay, so once that is done, Then we can come to our modules, my modules. Firstly, you will have to go to my module.kt. Sorry, before that we will just go to notification helper.kt. So just create a Kotlin file called notification helper.kt. Again, this should be your own package name, don't copy my package name. So if you don't know what is your package name for your module, you can just come over my module.kt, and whatever is the package name, you can just paste it over here. Again, these are imports which you have to add. Here we just create a notification for our foreground service. So here we just call create notification. Now again, this is also important, so this should be your own package name, don't copy my package name. So from where will you get this package name? Now this is not your module package name, this is your app package name. So for that you can just go to Android app build.gradle, scroll at the top, and here you can see this is the namespace or this application ID. Both of them are same. In case if you decide to change it in the future, because if you are deploying it on Play Store, this com.anonymous does not make sense. So if you change it in the future, you will have to change it over here as well. So make sure you do that same thing. Then here we add a category. This is our pending intent. Then we create a notification compat.builder, and here you can see that I'm passing the small icon, right? So here is my image name which we have added it inside the drawable folder. The image name was lake. So whatever is your image name, make sure you add it, change it over here. The image extension is not required. And here, as long as you use a PNG or a JPEG or WebP, you should be fine. Then here I just use set small content intent and build it. Here we create a notification channel, and here we create a notification manager. Out of from notification manager we create a notification channel. Okay, then here we'll have to come to screen record service.kt. Again, here you should replace with your own package name. Rest you can just copy paste it from imports are would remain the same. Here I create a parcelized class which helps us to send data from this my module to screen record service. Here we extend our screen service. Now to be completely honest with you, I have copied this code from Philip Lackner's YouTube channel, so even I'm not really good at this, but I'll try to explain as much as I can. So here we create a media projection, a virtual display, and then we get hold of our media recorder, the score routine scope, just to do background operations on it. And here we'll save the file inside an output directory, like a temporary directory first, then we'll store it to external storage. Here we get hold of our media projection manager. Here is our media projection callback. This entire code which you see is for saving the file to external storage. So if you want, you can copy it. Here also you can replace it with your own app name if you want to. I mean, you should, but yeah, even if you don't, it will not cause any error as such. Then here we have to override this on start command. So once the start recording is created, we create our notification, then start the foreground service and start the recording. And here we just call stop recording as well. So inside start recording we create our config, and if config is null we return it. Here we create a media projection manager dot get media projection, and here we register our callback. We initialize our recorder and we start our media recorder. Here we create virtual display. Here we stop our recording as well. Here we stop our service. Here we get the window size with the help of the dependency which we added. Now here, suppose if you want to only record a portion of your app, you can make use of this. I have commented this out. Now to use it inside initial recorder, you will have to use it like this, and then you will have to comment this out. But I want to record the entire width and height, that's why I'm using this particular thing. Okay, so here is our media recorder which I have created. Then here is our create virtual display. Again, I don't know much about this. Here we destroy it. Here we release our resources. Here we override this on bind because we are extending service, and we return null. And here is a companion object for all the values which we have, just like Java static, we have companion object in Kotlin. Okay, once that is done, you can come to my module.kt. Again, here you will have to copy paste all these imports, but for this 4 imports you will have to change it to your own module name. So my module name is just my module, that's why I'm writing it like this. And this is our screen recorder service file. Again, if you have changed the name of the file, you will have to change it over here as well. Okay, then here I have annotated with at least Android O is required. Then here we get hold of our context. Here we get hold of our activity, and here is for on start activity result. I know on start activities result is deprecated, but there is no easy way to use register for activity result in this particular Expo module. It's way complicated. I couldn't really figure it out. If you know, do let me know in the comments. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's fine, don't worry too much about it. Then the rest of the code is present by default. I have not changed or added anything. So yeah, this is all present by default. And here I have created a function called start stop recording. So if the service is running, we start our intent, sorry we start our intent, and sorry, if service is running, we stop our intent, and if it is not, then we start our intent. So here is the on activity result. I'll come back to this in a bit, but here start screen capture intent. So basically here we start the capture, and from this particular thing we call this thing. So callback comes over here, and then we just get the screen record config and start the screen record service. So here I have created the start screen record service as well. So yeah, sorry, even I don't understand much of it, that's why I'm not explaining in depth, but yeah, this is what it is. But again, like I mentioned at the start, this will only record your own app. As soon as you navigate from your app to some other app, it will stop the recording. Now this is not a bug with my code. I have tested this in native Android, it works perfectly fine. This is a issue with how Expo modules are structured. I genuinely wish they had not created a separate. What happens is they create a separate module. I wish that particular module was directly part of this Android folder itself, just like we have it for React Native. Like if you see the newer version of React Native's new architecture, like from 76 and onwards, the module is created within the main Android folder itself. So I wish they have done the same thing for Expo as well. I think that is causing the main issue for me to not record the entire screen, but I could be wrong. Do let me know in the comments. I think that should be it. Now let's look at the output, I guess. Hopefully I have not forgot anything. Shown you this, I've shown you this. Yeah, so yeah, that should be it. Let's see the output. Okay guys, so here is the output. So first I have this ask for notification permission button. Now I'm mirroring my device. Also make sure you try to run it on a real device, and the Android version which I'm using is below Android T. So if I click on this ask for notification permission, here you can see it is telling me that not required on this platform. So yeah, that's why. Then if I start clicking on the start and stop recording, I'm presented with this dialog. So this particular dialog is from the Android OS itself. This dialog will vary depending on what Android version you are using. So in some devices I have noticed that Android pops up a message saying to the user that record just this app or record the entire screen. So it can vary depending on what user selects. So for me, I don't get any such dialogs. I just get start now. So if I click on start now, if you see at the top, of foreground service has been started. So if I just show it to you, here you can see the screen recording is from our app. Now like I mentioned, it only records our own app. If you try to dismiss go to the home screen or go to some other app, the recording will stop. So that's the problem. Actually there is no problem with my code. The problem is with how Expo modules are structured. The same code works perfectly fine in native Android. It records the app as well as record the home screen or any other app, but due to limitation of how Expo modules are structured, I couldn't really figure it out how to resolve this particular bug. So yeah, now if I click on stop recording, again I'll just press on that particular button itself. So here you can see it has removed that foreground service, and also the video of our recording has been saved inside the files app as well, so to external storage. So if the user wants, they can view this video from any app. So yeah, sorry, not this one. Let me go back. I'm not sure if it recorded or not. I'll just click on start now. So it has started recording. I'll just stop it. I'll go back. Not this one, sorry, this one. Okay, here you can see it has recorded this. I don't know why it didn't record for the first time, maybe some glitch, but hopefully you got the point. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Again, like I mentioned, this code works perfectly fine on recording some other apps as well, but I couldn't really figure it out how to do it for other apps because of the limitation in Expo modules. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.